Hey guys, EctoMaster here. Just want to say this. The following is entirely early, in progress, or late beta footage. Anything and everything beyond this point will contain spoilers for the upcoming expansion pack, World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor. Thanks for watching and your support. Now let's get to the good stuff. Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. We are starting a new series of sorts. Having gotten into the Warlords of Draenor beta, and in the first wave, might I add, I had an idea of doing something. I am calling this, as you probably already clicked on it and saw, Wednesday morning beta tester, or beta player, something like that. I'm still debating on the idea. Wednesday morning beta player. I got the idea. I was going to do Monday morning, kind of like Monday morning quarterback. You know, that's where the idea came from. Where somebody sits back and, oh hey, did you see the play last week? Did you see how this guy did it? And I would have totally done this instead. No, we're not doing that. This is more of every Wednesday I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna say, give my thoughts on it, not just on the game itself. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've encountered during the game. What I've liked, what I don't like, my hopes, things like that. It's pretty much a sounding board for me, and hopefully you guys will watch and comment and have some of the same feelings that I do, especially those who have played. Basically, I'm just looking at what I've done or what I've been able to do, and best way I can give criticism is just by putting it out there. So this is what it is. Wednesday morning beta player, a critique of Warlords of Draenor. Now, you can only get up to level 92. You start off here in the Tanan, and pardon me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but the Tanan jungle, where you have a series of quests that you go through. That's an introductory, basically, to this expansion pack. The one thing that I love about this, it doesn't give you that feel to it. It gets you introduced, it gets you into the whole situation. And the one thing to keep in mind for everyone, and this is the big thing that I want to stress, this is a beta. And betas are beta. As you can see, we're here at this big freaking structure, which is basically at the base of the Dark Portal, which we could go to in World of Warcraft right now. But there's no texture. It's this light blue that's all over it. That's it. There's nothing special about it. Things are gonna break, and in playing this over the last week, there have been things that are definitely broken. In this video alone, on the recording of this, I disconnected at least twice, and so I DC'd twice during this, and just random DCs. Wasn't like some of the other ones that I've seen. There's a lot that is broken, but it's a beta, and that's the whole point of it. Things are going to break. That is what we are here for. That is why we are playing this. We are playing it to give feedback, to give our opinions, to say what's working, what we think works, what doesn't work. And Blizzard is either to take that criticism and go with it, or take that criticism and ignore it. That is their job as the company, as the provider of the entertainment. Great example of this is back in World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria beta. And in this beta, if you go back and watch the videos that we have of this, it is way different than what is currently now in-game. At least the start of it. And the same thing can happen with this. And this is where I actually think it falls a little short. I like some of the questing in it, but there are some things that I hope are expanded upon. I'm thinking that this was meant to be like an introductory, hey, we have a problem, we need to go solve it. Here, let's go investigate what it is. Holy shit. This isn't Outlands, this is Draenor. What the hell seems to be the problem? and we go out and we're trying to figure out what the problem is, and we end up with these series of quests that we have to do. In the long run, unfortunately, I just think because it is the same exact quest for both factions, there is no difference. And to be quite honest, when it comes to the garrison, which I will also showcase in this as a separate, I will do Frostfire Ridge and Shadow Moon Valley. In the case of the garrison, the quests are this pretty much the exact same as well. Now, I don't mean the quest that you get when you are doing your garrison runs, but rather the quests that you get to start your garrisons. They're all they are pretty much all the same, despite the fact that they're in two separate factions, two separate areas. They are entirely the same. And that's where I fall just a little disappointed with what we have thus far in the game, and that there really isn't a feeling of difference between the Alliance and the Horde. And with this being, yeah, hey, we have to go stop Garrosh, and we have to stop this Iron Horde, and sure enough, the Alliance and the Horde have to band together again to do it. You would hope that there would be a difference, but there really isn't. There is in the quest, once you separate, you know, each faction has its own story that it's telling. Yes, that gets different, but the start of it, it's all pretty much the same. And if that's the point of it, then I'm fine with that. I am totally okay with that. I have no problem. I mean, I have a problem that it's similar, but I'm not going to sit here and burn bridges, as in burning tents, about the state of what I think it should be. Their intention is to continue on with it as, you know, the same story as the unsung hero that goes out and does this, and that's fine. There are some fun quests that are in this. The powder keg one, for example, comes to mind when I think of a quest that's rather fun. And here's where we come to our first crash. I couldn't do anything. Everything's highlighted. I'm trying to attack this guy, and next thing I know, I am disconnected from the server, which is going to happen right about now. It's somewhere around here. I don't know. I know. I stood here. There it is. You've been disconnected from the server. Boom. I'm out. But that's what it unfortunately is. It's the beta. It does that. And we're going to talk about one of the annoyances. And one of the annoyances that I have is a quest that has been doing this, but it's actually been the players that have been vocal about it. That's more of an annoyance to me than the actual quest. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. Furthermore, I also like that one quest where you have to get the weapons, and it says that you are borrowing them, again with the intent of returning. Yeah, I just find that as funny. I love the new models that they have out. Those are absolutely fantastic. They look great. There's some things that are just a little off. Like, I think they fixed the look of the female human here. Her hair wasn't, like, if you went to one of the newer models of hairstyles, the color wouldn't show right, and I think they fixed that. Obviously, as I'm casting a Death Grip, I'm also on myself casting Chains of Ice and Frost Fever, and it's Icy Touch in general, and I don't know why it's doing that. It just does it. It's an interesting playthrough. I love. Personally, one of my favorite TV shows as of late has been, or was, Fringe. And of course, Fringe is no longer on TV. But it was an entire series that started delving into, alternate sciences, and more importantly, alternate realities. And I love the premise that this is basically an alternate timeline where the Horde wasn't formed through demonic purposes, although there are some that exist, but rather through Garrosh, who said, hey, instead, let's be, this Iron Horde and go forth. Which opens up a whole can of worms, as we may witness and hear. As a Death Knight, I come across Ner'zhul, who is still alive. And as we know, Ner'zhul was used to pretty much become the Lich King. And just that alone, it's like, well, I meet my semi-maker. Well, but even earlier, we met Terran Gorfy, Terran Gore, who becomes Terran Gorfy in our timeline. And we met Cho'Gall, who is the leader of the Twilight Tamer. We defeated him. And it just kind of leaves you with that, Khadgar, buddy pal, are we sure we want to free these people? Especially considering that one of the people that we are freeing is, I've already forgotten his name. He's the Warlock dude, the Orc Warlock dude that we freed. Not Ner'zhul, but the other one. Oh. Jesus, what's his... Oh, well. It's not Jesus. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It was there, and now it's gone. Anyways, I love that. I love that we're visiting something like this, and it should prove to be interesting. That being said, there's much that needs to be that is left to be desired. The garrison, it is beta, and things are very early, and things can change at the drop of a hat and a drop of a dime. And just like that, we could come in, and this would be the starting area, and these will be the starting quest. 2/3 of the way, or a third of the way through, and then one day we're gonna update the game, and we're gonna come in, and it's a completely new starting area. Every quest is redone. Nothing is the same. Everything is different. And that can happen. That very well could happen. Or this could be the quests that go live. There's just absolutely no telling. The one thing that I like, but I don't at the same time, I love the introduction that we're seeing here of Kilrog, Deadeye here. And each one kind of gets an introduction like this. But to me, it feels a little too breadcrumby. It's like, okay, so here's Kilrog, and now we're going to move over to this section, and here's the next guy. And now we're going to move to this section, here's this guy. And it's like, we're introducing you to each and every one, almost like it's a vignette, rather than a logical stream. And again, hopefully it's something that gets changed, something that gets fixed. I wouldn't mind an introduction like that, but I would like it to flow in a way that makes sense. Right now, it just feels like a happenstance of coincidences. Okay, so we go through the Dark Portal, and we're fighting the Iron Horde, but to escape the Iron Horde, we have to go through the other side of the Dark Portal, which brings us to this part of the Tanan jungle, and now, surprisingly, Kilrog and Kargath and Ner'zhul and Blackfist or Blackhand or whatever, they're all right next door to each other. Just surprised, they all live right here. And boom, 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 you meet all three of them. Not like, say, like you're fighting the Iron Horde, you're bringing down the Dark Portal, and then something goes wrong and you end up, I don't know, captured by the Bleeding Hollow orcs. Kind of akin to what happens in, say, what's that? Oldham. Where I think it's Oldham. Where, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull this off the top of my head. It's where the Egyptian-like area is, and you get captured, and then you break free, and then you go on from there. I wouldn't mind something like that again, where you get captured by the Iron Horde, and you're knocked out, you wake up, and you're strung up, either to be sacrificed or in a cage, and something goes wrong and you break free, or something goes right and you break free, and you happen upon a thrall or what's his face here, Murad or Khadgar, and they're your saviors, and they're like, hero, we've been looking all over for you. Come, follow me. We have to get out of here. The dark portal is collapsing, and your quest is to get out. But when you get out, you happen upon all this. You happen upon the only exit is the arena here, and you end up in this arena, and you have to fight your way out. And then, yeah, you're getting chased, and you end up in a cave system, and they send in warlocks to stop you. Or, it just, it is where the warlocks is. And it kind of has that feel, but at the same time, it just feels like it's random. It feels like it's planned and random at the same time. And to me, it just seems too coincidental. And for me, it's like there's nothing different. There's no such thing as coincidence. I do believe there's coincidences, but this is just really, I happened upon all three at the same exact time, or all four at the same exact time. That just seems a little odd. And I don't know, maybe it's just me griping, maybe it's something that they'll take back to the board, who knows. This is just the first week. That being said, let's talk about one thing that I really want to... One thing that I love is I love seeing crazy bugs. I love seeing crazy bugs in betas because they create the weirdest things. And some of the greatest that I've seen thus far has been like the name. There, if you watch and I mount up on Invincible, which is absolutely one of my favorite bugs right now, if you make a beta or a alpha character, you get pretty much every single mount that was ever made. And so, the one mount that I've always wished that I could ride on or have was Invincible. And typically there's at this part, there's a cutscene, but there's no cutscene this time. It just kind of happens. Anyways, I've always wanted to have him Invincible for my Death Knights and never could, and now this pre-made, I've got Invincible, so it's kind of fun to ride around on. But if I mount up, if you see when I've mounted up, my name kind of cuts through my body rather than over my head. So it's not registering that you're on a mount, at least the name isn't, and it's just cutting through your body. Another bug that I've noticed is that sometimes if you DC and you come back, your quest will not entirely reset, but reset a little bit. As we saw earlier, I had to go back and kill extra guys because it didn't record the kills that I had, and it didn't record the buildings that I burnt down. We've been seeing the death grip bug, and the most interesting one, the one that has been causing the biggest problem, has been the Velen bug. And this one is, I don't know, to me it's a little funny because everybody freaks out, and I'm just sitting here going, there's nothing you can do. And this is where I wish to speak to the community a little bit. There's a quest in the Shadow Moon Valley where Velen sends you out and you have to stop this. You have to do something. I don't even know what it is. I haven't gotten to that quest yet. But it is broken. It is beyond broken. What happens is he starts talking, everything stops, everything phases out. You're in a phase. You can't see every mob and every person and everything that you saw is not there. You're there by yourself. Then slowly the mobs come back and can see you, but you can't see them. So if you're in an area where they are hostile, they will attack. But I've learned that if you hit escape and get away from it and not have anything on your edge of target, it will automatically select the one that it is there, and then you can attack. It'll phase out. It'll phase back in, and about 3 minutes later, everything will come to a complete stop as lag happens. Major lag. Nobody can do anything. You can see everything, but nobody can do anything. This epic amount of music will play, and then about 20 seconds after that, you can start. Yeah, everything will be fine until the next person turns it in. The funny thing to me is watching everybody freak out and say, how could they put something out like this? Don't they know what a beta is about? I hope they're going to be putting a hot fix to take care of this. This is unplayable. Those who are in the beta, please realize that reason, the whole point of that quest and the problems that it has brought forth is the whole point of beta. It is to find bugs like that. It is to work through it. Unfortunately, this is not live in the world and where anybody can download World of Warcraft, buy the expansion, and play it. And we are having this problem. This is a beta where they're going to come up and decide and look at it. Now, remember, the other thing is that this is about a build or two behind what they already have on hand. They're putting it out. They're letting you test it to see what bugs are currently in there so that they can make sure that the next one that they're putting out, we don't see that. And then when we get the next one, we look at that one and see what bugs are there, let them know, and then continue until we're basically being quality assurance. We're being the QA. We are here to make sure that when we get to release, there are few major bugs. Minor bugs are something that they can hotfix. But this isn't something where they're going to turn around and go, oops, our bad, let's hotfix this right now. That's not their concern. Their concern is to continue working on it. They'll release an update. They typically do it every Thursday, which is why I'm doing this on Wednesday. They typically do it every Thursday. In the past, that's what they would do. I like this. This is kind of fun. I was like, I can stand inside. My point of view is inside the rock. But the point is to get it out, have you test it, see what's broken. They're not sitting back and just going, I don't care. They are listening to what is wrong. That's why if you click on the little question mark on the hotbar down there, you do get a thing that very first right off is report a bug, so that you can report a bug. One that I did report for, especially the quest that I just did, which was, I think, Masters of Shadow. You have... there's 2 mobs. There's 3 mobs total. One is already dead, which is Yril. And we're about to have another crash here as well. But she's already killed one. She goes up and hangs out with your buddies. And then we come across the other 2. Now, on the mini-map and on the map, the one for Unga is on the right-hand side, and the one for the Taskmaster is on the left-hand side. But the mob for Unga is on the left-hand side, and the mob for the Taskmaster is on the right-hand side. So they swap the locations on the mini-map for the mobs, which is not a big deal. But when I was running around trying to kill the Taskmaster, man, that is a mouthful right there. Yep, see, there we go. Disconnect. I wasn't even doing anything besides fighting this guy who was still beating on my face. I logged back in and he was still there, so I was like, oh, good. And I only needed to kill him, and I was all done with the quest. The other bug I noticed is that my auto loop keeps getting turned off, which is annoying. But it stands to reason that it is beta. Things are broken. Blizzard is working on it. It's not something that is going to be fixed overnight. It is going to take about a week to do. And the Velen quest, I don't know whether or not they fixed it. I have not ventured forth into Shadowmoon Valley yet with this character. I recreated this character because I was having issues. Here we are. We're having a complete quest buzz last time there. But it's definitely something that they're looking at. And when the next patch comes out, it'll be fixed. Again, I remember back in Cataclysm Beta, they had a bug with the goblins, the goblin starting area. You could not... everything was fine throughout the entire testing. And then one day, 1 week, it was actually, I think, it took about 2 weeks to fix, 2 or 3 weeks to fix. There was a bug that at the very end of the first, 5 or 6 levels that you do, you end up going through, you end up getting stuck in a box, and you couldn't move. There was nowhere to go. You couldn't jump, you couldn't move forward, you couldn't move backwards, you couldn't summon anything, you could literally do nothing. And every single goblin made at that point was stuck right there. Not every goblin that was made, but every brand new goblin that was made and got to the end of that quest was stuck there. They couldn't move forward. Everyone who had gone past that could move forward. There was another one where you were stuck in the town of the box. You were stuck in that town. And you couldn't go anywhere. It was an invisible box. There were times you could see the invisible box. You could see where the edges of it were. And that's where the phasing was taking a problem. And we do have phasing areas with this. Hunters, when the Velen quest is going on, hunters are losing their pets. And the only way to get the pets back is they have to log out, log back in, and have that, and then they'll have that. Which gets a little annoying. But it's been fun. The one thing that I definitely put up, I put the numbers on the screen for the health, the mana and everything like that. And I put it there for a reason, because everybody wants to know what the percent, the numbers are, because of the item squares. Personally, I said this during a live stream of this video. There is, if you look at the percentage that is being done versus looking at the actual numbers, there is absolutely no difference. There is no difference between what I am doing now on this level 90 pre-made character and what I would be doing on a level 90 Death Knight currently in World of Warcraft, percentage-wise. Numbers-wise, yes, it is doing something different. I am, instead of doing 300k damage, I'm only doing 3k damage. Yeah, that's a difference. But it's not something where you're just... It's... The whole of it is not just a... Oops, well, here... It's flubbed a little bit. No, it's... The item squish isn't that bad. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. The item squish is not bad. It's not like, oh my god, I'm so underpowered. The percentage that I am still currently doing, I am doing in the beta. There is no difference. And I had numbers up and everything. I went like from 400 something K on one of my Death Knights to like 52k health. And it was the same Death Knight, it was the same abilities, it was the same gear. None of that had changed. I just went from almost 500k to just a little over 50k. So it's like 10% of the K. 10% of the health that I have live. So it's not that big of a difference. And I don't want to take too much longer on this video. My main thing was I was seeing a lot of people complaining in the community about the beta, and it's a reminder that, guys, it is a beta. Things are going to break. Things are going to work. Things are going to break. We're going to love things. We're going to hate things. And things can change like that. They can change in no time. Just by fan feedback. And who knows? Like I said, I haven't played this since the other day when we were having the problem with the Velen quest, and they may have fixed that. They may have gone in and hot fixed it quickly. Who knows? But we'll see what the weeks come and the months, what is available in the coming weeks and months, and hopefully, we get a product that we are happy with, and everybody enjoys. Until then, I will see you guys next week with another episode of Wednesday Morning Beta Tester.
I can't pass that. That ability isn't ready.